What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of ICY. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today. In the previous episode, we had actually gotten acquainted with some of the basic things in the game, like walking around the map, scavenging, all of that fun stuff. We had been captured by brigands, and so now we're looking for a way to escape. You see three people peacefully approaching the bandits. They don't look like common survivors. Even the bandits who assaulted you, despite their good resources, are not that well equipped. Polished and shiny weapons, high-tech equipment. All the bandits look at those three people with reverence and awe. You never saw somebody so well-equipped walking on the white wasteland. Yeah, there's some weird sentences in this game that they really need to sort out. They read very awkwardly. Like, I guess right there it would say, even the bandits look at their equipment with awe. I mean, you could cut that one down by half. I don't know. A feminine voice comes from one of the masked soldiers. Proceed with the test and let's move on. We have no time to waste. I'm sure they're good for your needs. Some prisoners are young and healthy. They're perfect for your needs. The woman slowly turns to face the bandit and stands still for a couple of seconds. In an intimidating silence, we'll see. They approach you and the other prisoners and start using some medical equipment to take some of your blood. They take a sample from each one of you. They go away, and after some minutes, they come again. The mysterious woman looks at Goran and Irma and then nods at her two companions. Take those two and their children. They're the only ones we're interested in. Do what you want with the others. We have no use for them. They walk away, bringing Goran, Irma, and their children with them. Jerome tries to stand up on his feet and protest, but he gets kicked in the stomach and falls on the ground. Well, at least it wasn't a kick in the head. You could have like a Dino moment. Ain't that a kick in the head? Yep. Kick in the stomach's a little bit... I don't know. I don't want to be kicked at all. Never mind. I will not kick it with any of you. Or be kicked. The mysterious strangers leave, taking your companions with them. While they disappear into the mist, the bandits give you the order to get on your feet and start walking. You're now walking just like any other day with armed guards all around you. When you hear bandits shouting, you turn to see what's happening. At least 30 horsemen are charging the bandits, quickly descending from the top of a small hill. They're wearing red. They are the Red Horsemen, feared bandits and pillagers. The bandits start shooting at them, but the horsemen rapidly reach your position and start attacking your captors in close combat. Jerome screams before running away. Let's go! Now! You and the other prisoners start running away while the bandits are too busy worrying about their own lives. You keep running away from your captors while you hear bullets going on towards you. One of those bullets hits Joseph on his chest and he falls to the ground. April stops running and kneels by her companion's body. Joseph! Joseph, please, stand up! Let's drag her. Let's go. He's dead. So while you pull April away from the dead body of her former companion, you hear Carlos's voice. For fuck's sake, run! He's dead! Run! Someone keeps shooting at you, but the bullets pierce the snow around you without hitting anybody. You're too far to be an easy target. You see the entrance of a tunnel ahead of you and your group starts running towards it. You're getting far away from your captors, who seem to be too busy fighting the horsemen. You take a last look behind you and you see no one coming after you. The tunnel is long, but after a few minutes you finally see the light and the cold wind coming from the outside. There's a feel right there, and feel the cold wind coming from outside. Unless we're seeing the cold wind coming in from outside, which is pretty fantastic. It's got one of those visual effects going on. You can see the world map by pressing M while traveling around the world. Oh, we're out and done. Okay, so where the hell are we? Ooh, that's a big old map, isn't it? Okay, so where did we come from? We had like a forest next to a church, and maybe it was a part of the map that we weren't even on. That's a hell of a walk, though, if they got us that far away. It says that it's still day one. It was day one like the last two times we went hunting, too. Well then, what does this do? Okay, so that's going to be my character sheet. I like to click on everything. So we've got party members. We've got people who are pretty good with guns, people who are decent with bows. I'm thinking I might have taken a few more combat skills. I'm good in melee, and I'm decent with a gun, though, so my bow skills are lacking. I only have one in bow. It looks like they actually spread their points around a little bit more aggressively. Then again, they don't have to worry about all the extra stuff that we did, too, so all I can really say here is that we've got to hope that we can make this thing work out. But we got Demetra and Jerome in our party. What does this do? Oh, you could talk to people. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Alright, so if we wanted to talk to people, we can do that. It looks like we've got 1, 2, 3. Looks like we've got maybe 5 people in our group, plus us, which makes 6. It's a small team, and surviving in a group is actually quite a bit more difficult than surviving alone. The plus side there is that you can delegate labor and increase your chances of bringing anything back that you might need. So we've got 8 HP, or 8 medical supplies, I guess. We've got 36 food. We've got 6 fuel, 3 bullets, so we definitely need to find some goodies. Can we click anything else? No, don't do that. That's not what I wanted you to do. You spot an old house and tell everybody to get inside. You should be safe and able to rest, at least for some time. Well, we can stay here for the night. I don't think they'll come after us. Fine, let's see if there's something useful inside the place. The group starts scavenging. It looks like someone's shelter, but it has clearly been abandoned. You find some useful supplies, such as a couple of handmade bows with some arrows, some very rusty blades, and 3 bandages that seem clean enough to be used. While Dimitri is preparing a fire, you see Eva speaking up. Well, what do we do now? Well, we'll survive like we always do, one way or another. I don't think I'll be able to keep running like we did today. You can leave me here. I could take care of myself. While Eva is talking, you see Jerome asking you to come near him with a gesture of his hand, and you turn your attention again to Eva. Why do you say that? We'll never abandon somebody just like that. I'm not a child. I'm more than capable of taking care of myself. I'm sure of that, but that doesn't mean you need to be alone. Life out here is easier with somebody having your back. Eva lowers her eyes and waits for a couple of seconds before answering. Fine, but I don't want to be treated like a child. I'm old enough to deserve some respect. And you'll have it, I promise you. Now let me go and talk to my friend. He seems to be on edge. Alright, and thank you for being nice to me. I'm tired of people that only see me as a little child. She turns away and goes to sit near the fire. Well, this is like a hardcore situation right here. We're going to need all hands on deck. I can't risk. We only have 5 people, 6 people in our group to begin with. We lose anybody right now, and it's probably going to give us a major hit when it comes to our combat, scavenging, and overall survival capabilities, so I'd rather keep her on our side than have her wander off and be down by one. You can finally approach Jerome, who seems eager to talk to you. Alright, so listen to me and listen carefully. You know how it works with families and new people. We're here with 3 strangers, but the girl is clearly too young to have any authority on this matter. Me and Dimitri will just pretend that you were our leader before that shit happened. The tradition is that the newcomers accept the family leadership, and we can't tell them that our leader died the same day as the bandits attacked us. We'll treat them as a new member of our family, and since there is an actual leader, that Carlos guy won't argue with that. Or at least I hope so. You alright with it? Well, I actually like the idea of being leader. Jerome smiles. I knew that. You'll be just perfect. You're cut out for the role. We need a strong leader after what happened. Just remember to listen to old Jerome's advice, will you? Now let's go talk with our new companions. When everyone is gathered around a fire, Carlos begins what will be a long discussion. So what now? Do we know where we are? Yeah, this is the Vale, a relatively enclosed territory not so far from where we got caught. And what should we do now? I suppose we have to choose a new leader, don't we? It won't be necessary. Yeah, it won't be necessary. I think that's the one. We can either say... See, if we let Jerome interject right there, it gives the impression that he's the leader and he's dictating who is leader right there. So we need to speak for ourselves in this situation, just like a little social cue right there. If you're trying to convince somebody that you're the leader, you have to propose it yourself, and then the other people will agree with you that are on your side. But if anybody else proposes it, you're going to think, why isn't he the leader? He's obviously calling shots here. Anyways, it won't be necessary. We'll welcome you as newcomers, and you'll accept our current leader. I can assure you that you won't regret this choice. So we're the newcomers now. I can accept that, but know that I won't shut up just because you say so. We want to be treated fairly. And you will, you can be sure of that. Good to know. So what do we do now? Our friends are in the hands of some mysterious and incredibly well-equipped fighters who deal with local bandits for reasons unknown. We need to track them and hopefully save them. That won't only allow us to free our friends, but also to discover who the people are and where they get their awesome equipment. They had everything a survivor needs, and then some. I'm getting old, and it'd be nice to finally live a decent life. But their direction is unknown to us. We can't just ask everyone we meet if they've seen some super soldiers passing by. They might be one of those mercenary groups. They're usually rich and well-equipped. We may not want to deal with them at all, actually. We can't ignore the fact that their friends were kidnapped either. Well, the first thing we need to do, I agree with that one right there. We need tracks. We have Jerome, so I guess we can treat Jerome as like our consigliere or whatever if we wanted to. I'm kind of trying to stay away from that, though. I'd rather like call the shots myself and then behind closed doors take the advice, especially since we need everybody to kind of be on board when we give orders. But let's go. I mean, our first duty is to survive. That is a pretty obvious point here. The first thing we need to do is be able to easily survive. We have nothing right now, and we can't clearly face some high-tech soldiers without some decent equipment and lots of supplies. I agree on that. It's crazy to start tracking a group of killers with only a couple of handmade bows. We need to get back on our feet. Yeah, but we can do that while searching for them. I'm not saying we do anything stupid, just looking for them and our friends. I have a friend not too far from here. He lives in a settlement called the Wind Tower. He's a weapons trader. Maybe he'll know more about him. He deals with special stuff too, so if those mercenaries are locals, he may know them. How far is the place? No more than a couple days from here, I'm pretty sure of it. People keep talking. You quickly discover that April and Carlos are good company. Eva's a little more silent, but she seems to know enough about survival to not be a problem for your group. You'll be able to talk privately with your companions using the button on the left top of the map screen. Okay. So what are we doing right here? If I click this, does it zoom me back in? Okay, so we got a tunnel up there. We've got like a little city or like a shanty town over on this side, just in case we wanted some, random sea jigs to go along with our adventures. You're traveling with your party when you start... I wasn't traveling, I was clicking on the map. You're traveling with your party when you start hearing some strange noises. In a few minutes, the noises get stronger and you're able to understand their nature. Some people are animatedly arguing near an old house. Most of them are armed with melee weapons, but the one that seems to be the leader is talking to the other with a gun in his right hand. I guess we don't have a choice but to approach the strangers. I wouldn't take that risk if there was a gun involved, but whatever. Approach the strangers in order to discover why they're here. You slowly walk towards the strangers, and as soon as they see you, the man with the gun in his hand comes closer and addresses you. Greetings, fellow travelers. I don't know what brings you out here, but since you didn't attack us, I hope you're honorable people. Am I right? Despite the kind words, the man keeps holding his gun. Well, we aren't killers, if that's what you want to know. And that's good to know. We're honorable people too, and it's an honor itself that brought us here. A dangerous murderer, killer of 3 good people, is hidden inside that house. Will you help us deal with him? He's armed, and we don't want him to kill any more of us. Suddenly you hear a deep voice coming from the house. It won't be necessary. I'm coming outside to face my fate. A massive black man comes out of the house carrying a little girl in his arms. You can clearly see the blood dripping from the girl's body and falling to the ground. The man with the gun and his people raise their weapons and fearfully draw back away from the man. The mysterious man comes closer, and you can see an expression of pure despair on his face. Are you happy now? You took the life of my little girl, and now you'll take mine too. How glorious and noble you are. Shut up, you filthy scum. You killed 3 of my brothers. You brought this upon yourself. The black man falls on his knees and slowly lays the girl's body on the snow. You can clearly see that she's been shot in the chest. Why don't you tell them the whole story? Why don't you tell them how you captured me and my family and how you wanted to sell us as slaves? Don't listen to him. He's lying. He's a lying coon thug, and he should be punished for his crimes. Holy shit, man. Demetra is silent, but she's clearly disgusted by the scene. So are they... We have an option here that makes the whole thing... Go on, I won't stop you. I'm probably not going to go with that one. A criminal deserves no mercy, and that's why we're going to kill you all. Or we can intervene. I'm going to intervene. I won't let you kill a man just because he's born with a darker skin. What, are you crazy? What does that mean? We can attack him without saying a word. Or we can insult him. It means death for you and your companions. He's got a gun, though. I'm a little bit worried about that. He's at close range, though. He walked up to talk to us, so we can assume he's in melee range, maybe? We could use the element of surprise, though. Yep, let's do it. The mysterious black man jumps onto his feet and smashes the armed guy with incredible strength. He grabs the gun from the ground and starts shooting. You face a group of poorly equipped but quite threatening raiders. So I guess we made the right choice right there. We could fall back or we can engage in a melee fight. Let's... I guess melee fight? Yeah? Enemies receive -50 and 10 morale. Group receives 9 and 2. Cool. You see an enemy running away from the fight. Let's get him with bows. Your arrow misses the enemy and lands far away from the target. Ah, well, what are you going to do? Let's fight in melee again because it seems like we're winning that battle. So he took a little bit. They got 45 right there. A big enemy comes towards you wielding a massive 2-handed weapon. I'm pretty good at melee. I'm going to fight him in close combat. You managed to overcome the enemy in close quarters combat. That was pretty much my specialty. That's a kick right there. Like, whoop! That's like one of those kicks they use in comic books. Lay somebody out quick, Deadpool style. You managed to overcome him. Okay, let's keep fighting in melee. It's working pretty well for us so far. I mean, they're not really scratching us. We seem to be pretty good at kicking ass and taking names, and I am all out of name tags. Enemies run away from you. The fight is over. Hooray! You take a moment to look around. Your companions and the black man are taking care of the fools who didn't escape when they had the chance. The fight is over, and he's standing idle with his hands and clothes covered in blood. He's looking at the little girl's body without emitting a single noise. I'm wondering if this game is translated from another language. That's what I'm starting to think, because it has kind of like it has the grammatical structure and the focus on different kind of like noun structure and things like that. I'm wondering if this was like directly translated over. It might be a decent idea, though. The game so far, I do like it actually, but the translation could use a little bit of just kind of like cleaning up. That would be one of the big impressions I get from this game so far, is that whereas the production values and everything seem to be very good for like the fights and for the pictures are all hand drawn, they look really nice, they look like they were done with like watercolors or something like that. I like the way everything looks, but I think the translation, maybe they'll be able to patch it later on. I don't know, hire somebody that is a writer or maybe like an editor for like a small newspaper somewhere or something like that to go through and just kind of like make sure that this is all cleaned up, because I could definitely see the grammatical structure bothering some people. It doesn't bother me. Like, I get what they mean. It's not like we can't derive the meaning of the sentence, but there's been a few so far, you've heard me, where I'm just like, I get to halfway through the sentence, I'm like, wait a minute, how are they wording this? Okay, so there it is, and then I just kind of fill it in. He's looking at the little girl's body without emitting a single noise. Was she your daughter? The man raises his eyes. His expression is no longer furious. On his face, you can see only sadness and despair. He finally speaks. She was. They took everything from me. Everything. We've always been victims of racism, but nobody went that far. Not until we met them. What will you do now? I'll bury my beautiful child. His voice trembles as he starts to cry, and I will stand there, watching over her until I die. Okay, so we have a couple of options. Or maybe you can come with us. Live another day to fight against people like them. What you say isn't wrong, but I no longer have a purpose to survive. The legendary heroes may have the strength to fight even without a family, but right now I'm no more than an empty shell. This is like, you'd be like Emperor Palpatine right here. Don't waste your life. The desire for vengeance and justice enough for the dark side to fill the shell for now. Well, we will force you to come with us. Actually, we could say you have nothing to lose. Actually, I like that one right there. Come with us and maybe you'll find something else that can fit in your shell. You have nothing to lose but your life. Maybe it's wiser to see what lies ahead of you. The man comes closer and looks you in the eyes. He's at least a foot taller than you and his shoulders are incredibly wide. So be it. There's wisdom in your words, but please, let me give my little child a proper burial. The man leaves, taking the girl's body with him. After some time, he returns and talks to you. My name is Mobolaji, stranger, and I will do my best to help you and your companions. I don't know you, but you tried to do the right thing, and that's enough for me. I'll do everything that's necessary for the survival of the group, but I have a single request. Please, respect my mourning and don't ask me to tell you what happened, or better, pretend nothing happened at all. Okay, well, if that's one of his starting criteria for joining the group, hey, we could always use another strong arm, and it seems like he's pretty good in a fight, so, oh, what just happened there? It looks like there might be some minor issues with when you click on portraits. It seems like sometimes it moves the map around a little ways, like when you just slightly miss, I guess. I'm going to leave him to his sorrow because it seems like the kind thing to do right now. We've got plenty of food, we've got medical supplies, so that's not HP, that's how many medical supplies we have. We have 11. We had 8 before, so that's the 3 band-aids, okay? We didn't use any ammo in the last fight. Do I have a gun? Like, how do I know? It looks like I don't have anything. I've got a crowbar right here. Let's put that in our weapon slot. Oh, cool, we got like full inventory right here. That's really, really awesome. So we've got lockpicks. We've got, oh wow, is that the party inventory or is that just ours? We've got several scraps of goatee. I'm going to put on a jacket, I guess, and I'm going to equip myself with a gun. I don't even know if it's worth it for me. I don't know if I should take a hunting knife. A simple knife, probably the crappiest weapon you could possibly find. Okay, I'll keep the crowbar. An exceptional tool, weapon of at least one renowned hero. I got your Gordon Freeman reference in there. Anyways, let's maybe go. We're supposed to go down to the wind farm and talk to this weapons trader. Our supplies are good for right now. Okay, so that's how fast those decrease. I was trying to figure out exactly how fast we want to let that go down. Can we make it there by nightfall? It's almost 8 o'clock. What happens if you travel through the night? Anything? You arrive at the town and start looking around. There aren't a lot of buildings, but it seems like a relatively unspoiled place. Jerome comes near to you and lowers his voice so only you can hear him. Go with Carlos and April. Watch how they behave. Jerome turns and starts speaking to everyone. We'll split into groups and go searching for supplies in the buildings that are not too damaged or look like they have not been looted 100 times over. I'll take the northern area with Eva, and with Dimitra, our fantastic boss, will go with the lovely couple to check the southern part of town. I don't know if I should call her Eva or Eva. My family lives in a place called Eva Beach in Hawaii, and so I always want to pronounce things like, but Eva's spelled E-W-A. But anyways, fine by me. Are we looking for something in particular? I would say weapons and tools. I mean, honestly, we have, like, not a whole lot of stuff. I would say weapons, in all fairness. Let's go with weapons, because we have a whole lot of melee stuff, but we need more guns, we need more ammo. I mean, we need anything that can keep our little group unit safe. You're out in the middle of nowhere right now, and when you spend time out in the middle of nowhere, it's a terrifying feeling knowing, for example, I've camped in places with only 2 or 3 other people that are 6 to 5 hours from the nearest city, and when somebody walks into your camp in the middle of the night with a firearm on their back, it's not a fun thing. It's not a good thing to experience. And so that's why a lot of people, when they go out and do field work, they carry at least a pistol or a rifle with them while they work, is because crazy people tend to live way out in the wilderness because they don't want anybody to bother them. Not exclusively crazies, but you definitely run into crazy a lot more often when you're out in the middle of nowhere where there's no established law enforcement structure or anything like that. So anyways, let's focus on weapons because I think securing our safety and also securing the ability to hunt is probably the most important choice here. Weapons. We can't defend ourselves wielding branches and throwing rocks the rest of our lives. Alright then, let's not waste our time checking those buildings. Though this one does look promising. You spend some time searching around the building. Sadly, without the proper tools like a light source or crowbar, it's not easy to find a place that hasn't already been completely looted. I have a crowbar. While you're walking across the street, you hear April calling out for you and Carlos. Guys! Over here! I found something interesting. You see April near the border of the town among some trees. She's pointing her finger towards a building hidden by the woods. It's a strange-looking building, but it seems to be intact. Being out of sight, you get your hopes up that maybe it hasn't been looted before, or at least not as completely. Well, that looks promising. Let's take a look inside. You get closer to the building and reach for the door's handle. You slowly open and allow the external light to come inside. The inside is full of dust and dirt. It looks like it's been decades since anybody's been in there. Searching about, you discover the last people who came here. Mummified bodies of ancient soldiers who likely sought refuge in here from the war. Everything seems untouched since the soldiers passed away. Maybe they were wounded. Maybe they ran out of food. Either way, almost all of their flesh is gone, making it impossible to tell how they died. Oh my god. Are they ancient people? Light military clothes, no snow equipment, heavily decomposed bodies. Yep, they're either ancients or some of the first survivors. Well, let's check the bodies first just to make sure. I mean, if there's anything indicative that they might have been killed by traps or anything like that inside the building, we can at least look. The bodies aren't much more than skeletons with small remnants of rotten flesh on them. You start searching through their belongings, hoping to find something useful. They look like soldiers, but I see no weapons around here. Somebody's already looted this place. Maybe it was a long time ago. Maybe they left something behind. You spend some extra time thoroughly searching the bodies and their belongings, discovering 24 bullets and 3 pistols. They're a bit rusty, but they still work. Finally, some luck. I mean, they're no assault rifles, but at least we'll be able to shoot back at anybody who comes at us guns blazing. Their backpacks will be useful too. Not that I enjoy the back pain at the end of the day, but we have nowhere else to put this stuff right now. Let's see. Let's explore the main room. The room is large and full of dust. There is no furniture, only the bodies and their belongings lying around. There's nothing of interest in the room besides the bodies. Okay, so we'll explore the building. You go through the door on the other side of the room and find yourself in a smaller area. Strange electrical equipment connected by different wires are scattered about. It appears as if you can remove the parts off the device, but it's hard to tell if they'll be worth anything to anybody. Yeah, let's take them. Turns out you're unable to safely remove the electrical parts from the device and ended up breaking them in the attempt. Alright, well, there was nothing in the main room, so I guess we can leave. Well, at least we didn't waste our time. You spend a bit more time looking around town. A bit more as you make your way back to the center where you wait for the others to return. It isn't long till you see Jerome, Dimitra, and Eva gathering at the meeting point. Looks like they may have found something useful too. So, how did it go? We got lucky. Our fearless Eva right here snuck into a building through a little hole and found some useful things inside. I told you I'm a capable survivor. Besides, I had a good teacher. I'm sure you did. Jerome smiles at the girl. Anyways, she found some nice stuff in there, an old gun, a decent crowbar, and some rope. We didn't find much more out and about, but I did manage to grab some medical plants that I spotted. They're good for healing wounds. We found some weapons, 3 pistols in the first place we looked, then a hunting rifle hidden inside of a house. Sadly, we didn't find anything else. Not bad. Now we can travel feeling a little safer than before. Let's go try and find my friend. You managed to stuff everything you found into the backpacks and walk away from town. Some optimism in the group finally shows through. Alright, this is a good spot to stop. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of ICY. I will see you all next time. Hi-do, everybody.